So apathy can be summarized psychologically in those simple words. It's a feeling of I can't, or a feeling of there is no point, a feeling of why bother, and if I can't win anyway, why even try? That's really if you could summarize it in a few sentences, those are the thoughts that are running through the person who feels apathetic in their lives. It's a loss of faith towards the fulfillment of one's goals and pursuits. It's really a loss of hope, in a sense, and an inability to see the intrinsic value in one's pursuits or goals. Or maybe you saw the intrinsic value of, let's say, wanting to get a girlfriend, or wanting to get a good job, or wanting to, succeed in your career and life. But now you no longer see the value in it. And you sort of lost that spark in your eyes, that sort of inspiration that you once had. Often this comes from some certain traumas or failures from the past, maybe from your childhood, that you failed at something and you see that in the future ahead, since you failed in the past, there's no point in trying again. So it's sort of also a negative future projection as to what will happen. And as a self-preserving mechanism, your body will tell you, don't even try because you will hurt yourself or you will be disappointed. So to avoid disappointment, apathy comes in to sort of make you feel, balanced in a strange way, make you feel nothing. And because in the nothingness, at least there is safety. You aren't being, shaken around by the world, or like thrown around and, through fear, agony, pain, struggle, pursuing your goals or whatever you want to achieve. You don't have to do that, because with apathy, then you just feel nothing, and nothing to the body, at least, as a survival mechanism. Feeling nothing is better than feeling anger, fear, sadness, and all of these things. So it's basically a defense mechanism in an odd sense. According to me, why does apathy happen? Apathy happens because of a series of traumatic events, often, or a singular traumatic event, what I found, and that because of this event, you sort of become jaded, or you become hopeless in a sense. And because of the stressor, because of the obstacle that made you feel terrible, your body, as a self-defense mechanism, will shove it away, shove it down aside. And your body, basically, what your body is saying is like, okay, this is too much for me, this is too much sadness, too much anger, I'm gonna shove it aside, I don't want to feel anymore. And it's a strange thing with, let's say, burnout, or let's say adrenal fatigue, where you get so much stress that like your adrenal glands, they don't want to produce stress anymore, and they're just tired, and they don't want to function anymore. So like, you know what, give me a fucking break, I don't want to feel anymore, just put all of these emotions aside. And this is what could happen. And apathy can happen in many spheres of life. It could be relational, career-wise, or even about apathy itself. So for example, I can't get a girlfriend, I will never get a girlfriend, so there's no point in trying. Right, this thought will lead to apathy. This is in the relational domain. I will never be able to get a job. I'll never find the ideal career. I'll never achieve my dream career. There's no point in trying. Now this is career related. Or something else. For example, I've always felt apathetic. I've always felt depressed in my life. I've tried everything. It doesn't work. Nothing has worked, so there's no point in trying. Now, this is a more meta thought about apathy itself. So the secret with dealing with this apathy, dealing with this issue in your life, is to change from I can't, saying I can't, to saying I won't. Okay, now what does that mean? Well, it means that you do have some agency, because when you say I can't, you're saying that there's literally no possibility. When you say I won't, you're saying that there is possibility, but you're simply not willing. Now, by saying that, you are taking back the power, you're taking back the locus of control. Instead of having an external locus of control, where you believe that the world dictates what happens to you, you develop this internal locus of control, where you believe that I have the power to change. I have the power to make certain changes, even if it's small, right? So let's just say something simple like getting out of bed. Let's say you have this thought that tells you, I can't get out of bed, I'm a piece of shit, I'll never amount to anything. Well, is it true? Is it true that you really can't get out of bed? Because really, if you really wanted to get out of bed, you could, right? You could just sort of lift yourself up, walk to the bathroom, or, brush your teeth, I don't know what, right? You could get out of bed. You could do something about it. And you can do that if you change from saying that you can't fucking do it to, you know what, maybe it's possible if I give myself just the willingness to do it, right? Let's say you struggle with getting a job. You're like, oh, I can't get a job. The marketplace is too crowded. It's impossible to get a job now in this recession. It's terrible. I can't get a job. There's no point in trying. Well, is it true that you can't get a job? Because if you really wanted to, if you really put in the effort, then you probably could. If you seeked out the right people, you seeked out the right individuals, the right connection, you could get a job. I was hanging out in my city, like just walking around, and there was this sort of festival going on, and there was someone who was checking everyone's bags before they come in, and the guy was disabled. He wasn't just like a little disabled or maybe on the autism spectrum. He was full-blown disabled. He had this weird speech impediment, and you could see from his movements that he wasn't he was disabled basically. And that was really inspiring to me because if he can get a job as a worker at a festival or whatever, then I mean anyone can get a job. If someone who's disabled and who has trouble speaking can get a job, like this, interacting with other people, where his biggest weakness is social interactions, then I saw that and I was like, wow, anyone can get a job. Anyway, that's just a side tangent. But if you feel hopeless in your life, know that there will always be opportunities for you to achieve what you want. It's just a matter of looking for them and being patient.